Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Harinama Sankirtan Yajna ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So Hare Krishna, I would like to welcome all the devotees today for our Bhakti Vriksha session. And we are very fortunate today, and we are very honored to have today with us His Grace Hariksetra Prabhu. He is our center leader for our ISKCON Whitefield. So, of course, he has a lot of qualifications, like he's a gold medalist during his engineering time, and he has worked in corporate life for a couple of years. And now, since the day like he has taken over our center, like it is really expanding so nicely, our center with hundreds and thousands of devotees connected to Krishna consciousness, not only around ACS, Layout, Marathalli, Bellandur, Kadugudi, now all over India. So Prabhu is the one who has really designed our Gita course, like all the PPTs and everything, the concept, everything is being designed by Hariksetra Prabhu. And yes, on our the session that we had in our center, the physical session, Prabhuji gave us a glimpse of what exactly is the importance of this Krishna consciousness in our culture. So we're very fortunate to have once again today, and he will be speaking on the science of Bhakti Yoga. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your time with us.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your kind introduction and very nicely grooming this group of devotees. I'm very grateful to you. So today, as it is announced, like we will be discussing on the science of Bhakti Yoga. So we will, I'll be switching off my video and then I'll be presenting something on the screen, right? So let's start this one with a small Mangalacharan prayer, and then we will start the session. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Muhim Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Gagnatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। So just we will start today's session. So today we will be having a little different kind of this one. This is the topic that we have, Science of Bhakti Yoga. So we are trying to practice this Bhakti Yoga and what it is all about. So now let's try to understand this. So basically, this we will be defining what is this and what is this individually. And as we progress, you will find the definitions for all these things. So first thing that is there in hand is that so what is that we are trying to what are the total entities that are there so in the whole creation, and from there who are we, and then who is the Supreme Lord, and what is our relationship with him. So this is technically called the Sambandha. So now what are the things that are there in the whole creation? So that is Krishna explains in Bhagavad-Gita 7.4. So that is the earth, water, fire, air, ether. You would have studied in this one also. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And then mind, intelligence, and false ego. Right? So these are all the things that are there. And then in the BG 7.5, Krishna mentions, apart from this, there is another entity that is there. So that is the living entity. All of us. This is like all of us. We are there. So now in this, a lot of things gets clarified. So what are all these things? Krishna mentions that these things are my energies. So earth, water, fire, air, ether. So this is all that is there in the material world. All matter. So like is there here. And this is all that living, is also there. So essentially speaking, the whole creation is nothing but, Krishna and his energies. So this is what is the whole thing that exists. So now the matter over here is that what is our relationship? Where are we? Like whenever we go to a mall or some place, we will always see that, okay, in this whole complex environment, so the whole site map is put, and then it is explained there is a pin that is put, where are we, right? So now, why are we there in this material world, and what's our role over here? So we understand that we are energies of Krishna, and we should be working according to his direction. So all these things that are there. So now let's see, what is this all about? So now, after understanding the Sambandha, so now let's go to this word yoga. What is this yoga is all about? So now Krishna mentions in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita that actually specifically Arjuna asked this question. Atakena proyuktoyam papam charati purusha anichanapi varshneya baladiva niyojita. So he mentions that I don't have desire to do something wrong, but Krishna, as if by force, I'm doing something, I'm pulled into doing something wrong. So then Krishna mentions that kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samadbhava mahashano mahapapma vidyena miha vairinam. So our enemy, so which is called as kama, Mm. So this is the thing, and this is born out of Rajoguna. No, uh, so this is what Krishna mentions as our enemy, and Nitya Vairina. So he mentioned this as our eternal enemy. All the living entities in this world are affected by this particular entity, right? So okay, so now this is my enemy. So where to find this enemy now? So then Krishna mentions three places this enemy sits. So where are the three places? Mind, intelligence, and senses. So these are the three places it sits. And then if now we have come to this one, that we have a problem statement in hand. Arjuna asked, like, what is the root of all the problems that I'm facing? No, I don't want to do something like, but as if by force I'm doing something. No, I'm as if pushed into it. So why this is happening? No. So then Krishna mentions there is an enemy called Kama, and that sits in the mind, intelligence, and senses. So now, effectively, just like if you go to a doctor, if you say that the first thing he'll ask is like, what's the problem? I have a fever. So then if I have a fever, then accordingly, the prescription, the medicine is given. And what all kinds of medicines probably it's possible. So in front of us, we have Ayurveda, like in terms of disease, so we have Ayurveda, homeopathy, and then allopathy, and many different this ones are there. So in the same way, we have the disease, like spiritual disease. So is this this enemy of karma? So that is there. So karma means like trying to enjoy, trying to exploit the nature, or trying to exploit something which doesn't belong to me, right? So now we are trying to enjoy this material world, but this material world belongs to Krishna. So this is called karma. So the opposite of karma is everything belongs to Krishna, everything should be used in his service. So that is like seva. That is what we are trying to come up to. So this karma is a sinful thing because Krishna's property should be used in Krishna's service. Otherwise, it will be termed as sin. So now, so the spiritual disease. So what are the options that are there? We have karma yoga, and then jnana yoga, and then ashtanga yoga, and then bhakti yoga. So what is the job of all these yogas? Like naturally, to control these three entities. This is where our disease actually lies. This is where we are suffering. So naturally, to control these things, like they offer something. So what do they offer? So in karma yoga, they offer saying that, okay, fine, like you have this problem of karma, and you want to enjoy something of this world, which is actually the property of Krishna. So like you do some, you enjoy. So we don't say like you don't enjoy. So you enjoy, but then you give a share to Krishna, and then you enjoy. So that is this one. So that is the proposition that you have heavenly enjoyment. So but give a share to Krishna. So by doing that, so there is a lot of rituals, and then there is a lot of procedures and rituals and things like that. So which engage the mind, intelligence, and senses. And in this way, the karma yoga, it actually engages our mind, intelligence, and senses. And it is like our some level of this one is brought in, some level of sanity is brought into the system, right? And jnana yoga, it talks about, like this material things, this is enjoying this material things is the problem, and that's the cause of all the problem. And just like you just avoid all these material things, just become a sadhu, sannyasi, and then go to a forest, and then focus your mind, intelligence, and senses though, like completely cut all the activities of the senses. Jnana yoga means senses, all sensory activities, completely cut it. Reduce your eating, bare minimum, and then like do your tapasya, and then study scriptures and stuff like that. So it's like complete deprival of the senses, it is like deprival of senses, And then intelligence is used in the scriptural study and stuffs like that. So, and mind and intelligence is engaged like that. And Ashtanga Yoga, it's a mechanical engagement of the senses. So most of you would be knowing about the yoga asanas and stuffs like that. So it's more of mechanical, the pranayama. So by the control of breathe, you control the mind. And by the control of physical bodily limbs, you actually control the senses. So in this way, pratyahara, gradually go to the level of the same thing, deprival of the senses. Pratyaha, parityaha, ahara. Ahara means the input to the senses has been deprived, right? So, and then comes the Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the simplest and most powerful. Why? Because everything that exists is Krishna's property. Just do everything for Krishna's pleasure and have a goal to attain Krishna. We have come from him and we have lost our way into this material world. So let's go back to him, and then let's use everything in Krishna's service. Using everything in Krishna's service. So specifically, Bhakti Yoga, it offers, I'm not going into detail of other yogas. So specifically the Bhakti Yoga, it offers a particular kind of way in which to control the senses. So what is a way that Bhakti Yoga actually controls the senses? So Krishna mentions that Daiviyesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Duratyaya. So Krishna mentions that this material energy of mind, it's impossible for you to control. So this material energy of mind is impossible to control the mind, intelligence, and senses. This is part of the material energy. So mind, intelligence, and senses is difficult to control. So then Krishna mentions that Mam eve prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So when you surrender unto Krishna, so then Krishna says, I will control. So this I means Krishna. So Krishna will control. So now, okay. So if I have to surrender to Krishna, how will I surrender to Krishna? So Krishna says that there are processes, Navavidha Bhakti that is there, 9 types of Bhakti. So that is Shravanam, means hearing. And Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam, basically Smaranam. And then Pada Sevanam. So like this, we have 9 different processes are there. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnuho, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. And we have in the section of Ambarish Maharaj, sometimes you will hear about those pastimes also in these sessions. So there it is mentioned, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo, Vacham Shivai Kunta Gunanu Varnane, Karo Harer Mandira Marjanadishu, Shrutim Chakara Chuta Satkatodaye. It's very amazing. You engage in thinking about the lotus feet of the Lord. And then the words, engage in speaking about the Lord. So now we are trying to do that. So we are engaging our words in trying to describe Bhakti Yoga, which is very, very dear to Krishna. And then all of you are doing the Shravanam process, Shrutim Chakara Achyuta Satkatodaye. So all of you are trying to hear about the glories of Krishna, the glories of Bhakti Yoga and things like that. So that is also a seva, right? So these are all services that we can actually do. And when I render service, it is mentioned that Sevonmukehi Jivado Swayam Eva Spuratyada. So when I render service to Krishna, then Krishna will reveal himself unto us. So this is the point. So Seva, by the medium of Seva, Krishna becomes pleased. So Krishna becomes pleased. And then by this medium, Krishna reveals himself. So now one may ask, this was not our actual problem. Our problem was to control the mind, intelligence, and senses. And now Krishna reveals himself. How is it going to make any difference in my life? So the thing is, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai andakar, yahan Krishna taha nahi Maya radhikar. So when Krishna is present, Krishna is like the sun. So, and this material nature is like the darkness. So darkness is the material nature, and material nature means in our scenario, like mind, intelligence, and senses. No, we can take it as like that. So when Krishna reveals himself unto us, so then automatically the mind, intelligence, and senses is controlled. No, so this we can practically experience. No, a very, very practical experience. No, very practical experience is hearing the holy name. So all of you are chanting the names of Lord every day, and you chant the Prabhupada Pranam mantra, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. And then we chant the Panchatattva mantra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And then Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. So now when we do this thing, we can do this in multiple ways. We can do it completely mechanical and not hearing anything that we are chanting, and then mind is wandering everywhere. And then another way of doing it is like having full absorption, paying attention to every single syllable that is being chanted. So Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. So when I do this thing, so then like I have an experience of Krishna. So this clear, legible hearing is equivalent to having darshan of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada mentions that darshan means we have 5 senses, and then any of these senses, like if eyes are able to see something, that's called darshan. If I'm able to touch and feel something, so that is also a darshan. I'm learning something over there. And if my ears are able to hear something, that is also darshan. So Krishna's name and Krishna are non-different. And hearing the names of Krishna is the way in which we are encouraged to have darshan of Krishna in this particular age. In the Kali Yuga, Kali Kali Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. In the holy name, we are supposed to see Krishna. So this is the prime process of Bhakti Yoga that is recommended in this age of Kali Yuga. And this is the way like that we are encouraged. So all of you would have heard that shloka in the Gita course, right? Krite dhyayato dhyayate Vishnum tretayam ejato make dvapare paracharyayam kalautad harikirtana. So in different ages, there are different ways in which we can actually approach Krishna. And in Kali Yuga, kalautad harikirtana. So by the way of chanting the names of the Lord. So that's the way we are going to have darshan. So now the next practical problem that arises is that, I agree that I have to chant, and this is the process, because like I am struggling with this, mind, intelligence, and senses. And Krishna has told that this is the place where the enemy actually sits, and all the yoga processes, they are aiming at regulating this mind, intelligence, and senses. And in Bhakti Yoga, now we are going to regulate this by surrendering unto Krishna and by rendering service. And what's the service that Krishna is expecting us to do? Krishna is expecting us to chant the names of Krishna and to listen to them. So that's the service. And what's the problem in doing this service? Mind is wandering a lot. There is so much of I'm trying to control the mind. So that's the very process, the very reason that I've started this process. Of course, like over a period of time, we will develop love and affection and attraction towards the Lord. But initially, my mind has to come to a control. So if that is not there, what's the fun in doing this yoga? What's the point in doing this yoga? Right? So my mind has to come to control. So my mind has to be completely under control, and then be completely focused on the names of the Lord. So now that this we see that we are not able to do this, our mind is going hayward. So now the only this one is that who is this mind reporting to? Whose energy is this mind? So this mind is an energy of Krishna, right? Bhumir apo anula vayo kam mano buddhi revacha. Mana, mind is a energy of Krishna. No ahankara mintiyam me binna prakriti rashtada. Krishna's prakriti, Krishna's energy. And this prakriti, no daivi yesha gunamayi, no, Krishna says that this prakrite kriyamanani maya dakshena prakriti, maya dakshena prakriti. So Krishna says, I am the adyaksha, I am the master of this prakriti. And this mind is an energy of Krishna. And if Krishna wills, and if Krishna is merciful unto us, he can control this energy of his, right? So this mind can easily be controlled if we can pray to Krishna. No, so that is where the very important, very, very powerful and important limb of bhakti that comes, that is prayer, right? So this prayer is very, very essential. And in the coming sessions, like devotees will teach you all how to offer prayers. And like one simple prayer that we can actually offer is, it's a self-composed prayer. And there is many standard prayers in the scriptures. You can offer them also. The simple prayer is, Krishna, I have been wandering in this world for a long time. I am bereft of your association. And now I have got the understanding, so like that I have to surrender unto you. And the process is to chant the names, chant your names and hear your names clearly. And I'm trying to do that and I'm struggling. I'm not able to do it. And I know that if you are merciful, definitely I'll be able to do this thing. So please show your mercy unto me. Please help me. I am struggling. I need your help. So in this way, like opening our heart and really making this a goal. I want to hear the names of the Lord. So like as a process, like the devotees very kindly requested me to chant. And I have accepted it. And I want to do it in a nice way. Srila Prabhupada wants us to chant. The spiritual all the devotees, they want me to chant, and these are all nice people and they have asked me to chant. So, and I want to chant in a very nice way, right? So please help me, please help me. So this is the mood of the prayer. So when we do this prayer, and you will see that this darshan happens in the form of clear hearing of the names. One thing is very clear, we cannot force, the holy name is non-different from Krishna, and we cannot force Krishna to appear. We cannot have forced darshan of Krishna, and Krishna has to reveal unto us, by his sweet will. And this is what is the science of Bhakti Yoga. So we are all trying to practice this Bhakti Yoga. This is the crux and science of Bhakti Yoga, right? So let's, in the small time frame, actually, this we cover it in elaborate session. Sometime we will have an elaborate session on this. So I just try to give the essence of the practice of Bhakti Yoga that we are trying to do. So thank you all very much for your patient listening. So now we will try to have any doubts or questions or something like that, if time permits. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Hariksetra. Anybody would like to ask any questions or reflect on what you heard today?
Very simple and very nice explanation, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, this process is simple, and especially our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada and the devotees have made it more simpler.
Yeah, simple I meant is easily to understand.
Yes.
Easy to understand.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's easy to practice as well.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji, very simple and not simple, I should say, elaborate, easy to understand. But the thing is that last point is very powerful. That when we are, when the mind is deviating, we can pray to him that please God help in stabilizing the mind in your name while chanting your name.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you very much. The way you explained that to us. I just wanted to ask you one thing. Supposing if we are not able to chant, see, because of this mechanical life that we are facing, supposing if we are not able to chant 16 rounds, is it okay that we can chant from our heart about 10 to 15 Hare Krishna mantra?
Definitely it is mentioned that Kirtaneya Sadahari, the actual practice is to chant the names of the Lord all the time. Whenever we have some hosh, means like consciousness, so we should be constantly chanting. So that's very, very nice. If you're doing it, please continue. And then we have to achieve this platform of 16 rounds. And as I was mentioning, that if we can listen to the names of the Lord, it's so very amazing. So like when you start doing it, you'll really, really like it. So why? Because I was just reading in one purport of Srila Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam. So he mentions Krishna is the best of the forms. Krishna is the best of the taste. Krishna is the best texture to touch upon. Krishna is best of everything. He can engage all our senses so amazingly, more than the our YouTube or any social media. It's successfully engaging all of us. So in the same way, or even it's not same way, like much better way Krishna can actually engage. In fact, once you start getting taste into this process, you will say like, no, why is only 16 rounds? No, I want to chant more, right? So in that way, like you will not even know how you are getting slipped into chanting more number of rounds. So just try to get a little bit more focus on the chanting, and your question will change a lot actually.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji, as you told, we are the energy of Supreme Lord. So can you little elaborate this point, sir?
Yeah. So Krishna mentions that apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yedam darite jahat. So he mentions that apart from this material energy, I have a superior energy, and that is the jiva bhuta, that is the living entities. So all of us are energies of Krishna. So one energy of Krishna is Jada, that's material energy. It doesn't have consciousness. But Krishna has made us conscious energies of his. So we are dependent, our consciousness and our capacities, everything is a delegated power that we are getting from Krishna, right? So Krishna is the original powerhouse, and we are just like the points, like just like electrical points that also emanate power, but it's not the powerhouse. Krishna is the powerhouse, right? So in that way, like we have the delegated power, which is given to us by Krishna. So that's how we are conscious and we are active, and we have various capacities. That is the blessings upon us by Krishna, right? So that's how we are energy, and Krishna is the ultimate. And the energy's role, Srila Prabhupada explains that I have my hand. My hand's duty is to serve the whole body. So when the body needs something, like the hand should provide for it. So in the same way, our natural and constitutional position, being energy of Krishna, is to act for his pleasure, and then we will be happy. So till the time we are acting for our pleasure, our happiness, we are not going to get happiness. But when we act for Krishna's pleasure, we will actually become pleasurable, actually become blissful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for explaining and pointing out the places where does our enemy sit and how to control it. That is best mantra you have given. We have to surrender to Lord Krishna, then only he will control, because all these things, whatever you have mentioned, mind, intelligence and sense, these are really, really very difficult to control. It is beyond our capacity. Only thing, what mantra you have given, once you are surrendering to Krishna, he is capable of controlling everything. So he will be controlling our all those these senses where enemy sits. Prabhuji, only one doubt I am having. Once we talk about chanting Lord name like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, is it essential to make sound and chant by speaking only, or we can chant it in our heart? Suppose we are traveling or in office or gathering, that time also we can chant in our heart without making any sound.
So that's, I just sometime back I told, it's a very, very good practice if we can constantly chant within our heart. But as a sadhana, the chanting that we are trying to do has to be loud enough. So why? I had explained that where is our eternal enemy that is sitting? Third chapter towards the end, all of you can read few slokas towards the end of third chapter. So Krishna very systematically mentions that our enemy sits in the mind, intelligence and senses. And if we can involve as many senses as possible, in the service of the Lord while doing our sadhana, just like having a beads on our hand, touching, so our sense of touch is used. And then chanting the names of the Lord, our sense of speech is used. This is also a working sense, and the tongue is also used, right? And then your ear is used, right? So all these things, when you're using all these senses very nicely, and then if you can close your eyes and then trying to absorb in the sound vibration, so more number of senses are used. And especially these are the senses, if it is not used, it is potential to distract us, because our eternal enemy, the modes of nature, the goodness, passion, and ignorance, is sitting in these places, and they're operating from these places. So it is very essential to engage the senses. So that is why we recommend that we chant legibly as much as we can hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So as much as we can hear, so we should chant that much loudly, and we should hear. And when the environment is not favorable, you're in office, that is off sadhana, so beyond your sadhana, that you keep on chanting, that you keep on chanting in your mind. So that's very, very nice practice. Please continue that.
Okay, thank you.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask you one more thing. Supposing if we are cooking and then we are chanting, but we won't be able to use the beads, is it okay?
Yeah,
can we do that?
See, that beads wala chanting is our basic sadhana. So that we sit down and do it. Or sit down and do it, or you go to the terrace where nobody is there and things like that. So, or you sit down in your puja room and do it and things like that. So, but while cooking and doing and all these things, that is additional, and that is kirtanaya sadahari. All the time we should be chanting. So it is not just like only in the beats we have to chant. All the time we are supposed to chant. So, but as a sadhana, as a practice, 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, like that, we should try to chant, in the fixed number of rounds in the beats.
Okay, thank you.
Prabhuji, regarding,
Prabhuji, this is Aishwarya here. I'd like to ask a quick question, which is in connection with what you said right now. So you have been specifying Kirtaniya Sadahari, and I too believe actually in that, because when we listen to Kirtan and sing along with it, it gives us a very good, keeps us in a very good mood. And why are we actually required to sit in a place and chant a certain number of rounds in a place? Because according to me, what I feel is, I feel the mood of gopis when I listen to Kirtan every time and I sing along, and I feel like sitting in front of a strict father when I sit and chant on a japamala. So can you please?
So it's a very, very nice question. You see that Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Natipi Kalavasani Krito. So the Acharyas and the Supreme Lord himself in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended this process. We are not doing a process which is kind of we thought that, okay, like this, if we do it is good and things like that. It's a framework that is given. It's only a liberated person can help us come out, get liberated. So if imagine like we have fallen into a well, and then like somebody from the outside, they're throwing a rope into the well, for us to come out. So now it is very essential. This is the way I can actually go out. And the rope that is thrown for us by the Supreme Lord is that the process of Krishna consciousness that has been given to us. So this is a very, very important thing. And this process, like as Sankhya Purvaka Nama, and then the Acharyas have shown by their example, and it's on the strength of those practices that is set. It is just like if you have to go to a particular destination, there is a route map that is there. So there are some good practices that are there. That's not sufficient enough. We need to follow the route map, and then we will be able to achieve the goal. So it is a kind mercy upon us that the Supreme Lord has revealed this process to us. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally performed his pastimes, who's the inaugurator of the Sankirtan movement, so he demonstrated it himself. And the next Acharyas, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, then Srinivas Acharya, and many, many personalities in the line of disciplic succession. And to this day, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada and his followers, and all of us are trying to practice this and seeing the results. And we are practically able to go up to we are practically able to see the results, right? So this is the reason for which we have to do our chanting. No, it is like there are so many good practices are there, but we need a route map. No, we need the help of the acharyas and the Supreme Lord. So they have given us this practice. So it is their mercy upon us. So we accept it. Hare Krishna. I think like we are running out of the time. So we will wrap our session here. Like my talk here.
So I know Piyush Prabhu and some other devotees, they wanted to say, definitely we'll get more opportunity to hear from Prabhuji and we'll organize more sessions with him. So thank you very much, Hariksetra Prabhu, for keeping us available in spite of your back-to-back meetings and so many other programs. So we're really grateful to you for coming here and inspiring all of us. Thank you very much. Okay, so now, right, as a practical, let's move forward to our chanting session, where we'll have the practical experience of chanting and hearing, right, and praying to the Lord. Oh Lord, we need your blessings, we need your mercy, so that we can really chant nicely for your pleasure. Okay, so Prabhuji, let's get started. And as Prabhuji said, and it's good to have beats. If you don't have beats, you can order for the beats, but you can, through that we can engage one more sense, the sense of touch, in the service of the Lord. Okay, let's chant the Panchatattva mantra and then we can start Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakti. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Sivasadi Gaur Bhakti
Harinama Sankirtan Yajna ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much for joining the chanting session and also this beautiful Q&A that we had. Thank you very much. So now let's proceed towards our next part of the interactive session, where we'll be going out to the breakout sessions to discuss the passage for the day and also to share the Bhagavad-Gita verses. Okay, I hope all of you have renamed yourself with the prefix of your respective Bhakti Vriksha groups. So if you have not yet done, please do so. Like for Radha Gopinath, prefix with RGN, with the Radha Syam Sundar RS, and for Radha Govind RG, for Radha Raman RR. So please have that prefix, and then I would request our Dipali Mataji to start the breakout session. Thank you. So let's join our breakout sessions. Hare Krishna. So please join your respective breakout sessions. Savita Mataji, you are part of Radha Raman group. We are part of which Bhakti Vriksha?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
I'm chapter 1, verse number 10. I want to explain little, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. So, okay. And Sandeep Dwivedi, Radha Gopinath. Santi Residency, what is your good name, please?
I'm Sushma Purohit, Prabhuji.
Sushma Purohit. You are part of Radha Govind?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, Radha Govind. So Hariksetra Prabhu, if you would like, you can join and you can just see a couple of sessions, how they are doing it, if you have time, Prabhuji. Okay, so it's good to see Tina Mataji as well. So Mataji, you are in Singapore or you are in Bangalore? I heard that you are relocating to Singapore. Tina Mataji is there.
I think so. Mataji has joined, or oh, it is unassigned.
I see Mataji there. Okay, so still our Dalapati Rao Prabhuji, he is Radha Raman. Okay. Okay, I think everybody joined. So anybody else? Sandeep Kumar. Sandeep Kumar Radha Raman.